Yeah, let's spend a little bit of time on the pre-construction condo,
Sure.
and I want to do this because, especially in the climate that we're living in today, with COVID-19,
Mm.
and and some people, some tenants leaving that condo space downtown. Do you see any concern there, or like what are your thoughts? What's your thinking on this?
Yeah, look, I mean, as of right now, what we're seeing in the downtown Toronto area, like downtown Toronto condos, where for the first time, I think in the 50, so I've been licensed for 15 years. It's probably the first time in 15 years I've ever seen a buyer's market in downtown Toronto. It's
Mm,
always been heavily weighed to being a seller's market. So for your listeners who I'm sure that know, but just a quick reminder that 0 to 3 months of inventory is considered a seller's market. 3.5 months to 6 months is considered a balanced market. 6 months and above is considered of inventory is considered a buyer's market. That's what we're seeing right now in downtown Toronto.
right,
No surprise, really. No surprise. I mean, we had the border shut down. Period. Like, there's nobody coming into the country, as they probably shouldn't, anyways. As we figure this lockdown and pandemic out. B, because of the fact that borders are shut down. Everybody that was on the short term market, the Airbnbs of the world, they're now converted to be on the long-term rental market because they weren't even allowed to rent it out as an Airbnb, and then again nobody coming in, they had no
right,
customers. So because of those reasons, we have a lot more inventory, available condos for rent and for sale than we actually have demand. As an investor, one of the best scenarios possible because real estate is going on sale right now, and you just don't see that
right.
often. I see it with a different mindset, right? Because values have come down for the first time in years. We can actually find a possible deal. Like, I know you get the call as well, Gary. Like, where's the best deal? Where can I steal something? Like, very rare can you steal something in the Greater Toronto area. I think there's a pocket right now of 3 to 6 months of where you're going to be able to pick something up specifically in the downtown core. With all that said, the reason I love pre-construction as a strategy right now in this current climate that we're in is because you can buy something that's not going to be built for 3 to 3.5 years. You don't need to get a mortgage for it. There's a formality. You got to get a pre-approval letter. B, you don't have to deal with the tenants. You don't have to find tenants. So you're not even in the kerfuffle of trying to find tenants right now. That's something that we're going to need to do in 3 years. Here's the really good news. Anybody who watches or listens to my content, I speak a lot about immigration numbers because to me, that's the driving force why the GTA real estate market has been so resilient. I mean, even with all this, and as a macro average, I mean, we're seeing a 13% year over year increase. But because we're locked down right now, it's why we're seeing in certain pockets more supply than demand. Here's the really good news that I just spoke about. We're going to not only get 250,000 people that we were forecasting pre-COVID, it just came out that we're getting over 400,000 people year after year for the next 3 years. That means 1.2 million people are forecasted to come in to the Greater Toronto area.
Okay.
Extrapolate that. What's the numbers for 10 years? Because I like to look at real estate in a 10-year window of everything. Like, because real estate values will go up and down upwards. My window and my lens is 10 years generally. In the next 10 years, we're forecasted to get over 3.2 million people in the GTA alone.
Right. And you're right, right? Like, I mean, I've talked to a couple people now just in regards to the condo market, and you're spinning it differently where you're saying, no, hold on a second, this is a buyer's market. And I guess there's also going to come a time when COVID will be behind us. There's going to come a time again when people are going to want to be downtown because listen, downtown Toronto is probably one of the best places to be in the world, you
Is
know?
that what they call? I thought it was called downtown Canada. I wasn't sure.
You could be right, brother. You could be right.
I know our out of province listeners are not gonna like
But
that
you're
one.
right, though. It
I
is.
love
It is
every single
downtown
province.
Canada.
I'm born and raised in Rexdale, Gary. So
Yeah.
Toronto is my spot. Now go on. Sorry.
Yeah. Listen, it could be called downtown North America. as far as I'm
I like
concerned.
it so much. It's so true.
You know, but that's good though. It's nice to kind of hear it because it's a little refreshing. Saying, don't panic, just start now. You can pick and choose the deals that you want in the downtown core.
And I'll take it one step further. Don't panic. Definitely don't panic if you're just a buyer looking, because you're not even in the market. So like nothing to really panic about. Just don't do anything. If
Right,
any of this conversation scares you about investing, if you're concerned that values might drop one day, my message to you is please don't invest in real estate. You'll lose sleep.
right,
This is not why you should invest in real estate. You should invest in real estate because, in my opinion, it's one of the safest investments that you can ever make. The only really better investment than real estate is investing in yourself. Like that truly is my true belief at the core. But understand that if you have a property right now I understand where you might panic. You're listening, be like, oh my God, I can't rent my place. Like I think I'm about to rent out 68 condos from today's recording till December 20 to the end of this year. So in a whatever 2 month 60-day period, I got like 68 condos I need to rent out for my clients. Okay, so
right.
we bought this back in 2017 on average for $360,000. Your condo's worth $550. You made 200 grand. Just don't worry about this little blip. It's just
Right,
a blip.
right,
Don't freak out. It's part of the business. It's like if you have to think of real estate as a business. And so if Shoppers Drug Mart, somebody steals something breaks, they don't sell their certain perfume or cologne for a month, 3 months. They don't shut the whole store down. They pivot. And how do you pivot right now? A couple of ways. A, if you're about to rent a place, put in a clause in your lease agreement that behaves like a rental discount, okay, which also protects you for the future when you need to increase rents. Can't do it in 2021 in Ontario, so understand that. Know your rules. Number two, just come down a little bit on price. Just come down a little bit. It's okay. You might need to feed it at $200 a month. That's $2,400 for a year. If you look at $200 a month, Gary, if you and I right now go for lunch, and if I don't know if you're a drinker, but sometimes I like to have a liquid lunch once in a while.
yeah,
We might have a burger each and a couple of drinks. We're $150 in. And we would never complain about that because we would have jokes, we would have laughs. But so many people panic or get concerned about putting $200 into their own property. It's just going into their left pocket, into the right pocket, like literally the right pocket, meaning they're paying down the mortgage. So you just don't panic, guys. Breathe. If you're an investor right now, understand it's just part of the process. Values will go up. We have 100 years of data. Like this is not me trying to have a crystal ball. Like it's really like just looking at past data. Values dip, but they always go back up, and they continuously, the trajectory is upwards.
right. I like it. Good advice. Good advice.